and welcome to the tutorial island. I forgot what I wanted to say. I have a series to explain in here. And my head is as empty as a jar of cookies that has been eaten. Okay, I'll try to put my thoughts into chunks that make a lot of sense. So, let's start from here. Like many children from the millennial generation, I have played RuneScape when I was a child. Like many children that have played RuneScape, I was too dumb to actually understand game mechanics and therefore never actually have done much in the game, including never actually having done all the story content that there is in there and all the quests. And I would like to do that. In 2018, I briefly tried streaming RuneScape 3 for a while, and I abandoned that after some time, mostly because I had a full-time job at that point, and that wasn't the kind of thing that I could squeeze into my schedule comfortably. Plus, the full-time job was really killing me alive. It wasn't me in a good place. Me is in a lot of a better place now, so take this as an attempt number 3 in Mirta's life of experiencing RuneScape. So I am just here for the story. By which, I mean, I've seen insane amount of RuneScape content from really, really good creators that are great at editing their stuff. I've watched Alien Foods Unguided series, I've watched Josh Isn't Gaming doing his One Chunk Man series starting at Yanil. The amount of dedication that these people put into their work is absolutely insane. Including spending thousands and thousands of hours trying to get some fairly obscure drops just because that is one of the things that you promised to do before you left the chunk, and they do conquer their own proverbial Everests and they do feel happy when they achieve that, but I ain't got the patience for it. So I am gonna be breaking a lot of unspoken RuneScape YouTuber rules over here. Rule number 1, never show your face. Probably because you would be obscuring either the quest log or normally the inventory is somewhere around in here. And people like to see that. Well, I say fuck it. That's how I do my content, baby. So that's how I'm gonna continue doing my content. Secondly, set yourself really high goals that will impress everybody and make your series truly unique, such as doing all the quests without being guided, or doing a one chunk challenge and spending thousands of hours trying to get a 1 in 32,000 drop. No. Just so you know, I feel dumb enough that in order to just start this, I had to Google how to create a character. Because it's done from the account page now, and my account page was erroring out on Chrome. And I want to do Ironman, but I was all like, how do you even do that? And then the new launcher for old school RuneScape comes with like some inbuilt add-ons like a loot tracker. I clicked on them and I scared myself because I couldn't figure out how to close it. So no, we're definitely a level that's just too dumb to promise that I'm not gonna look up guides. So this is gonna be the most boring RuneScape content that you had seen in a while, which can be summed up as Mirta is gonna be experiencing all the quests and story, plus some extra stuff if I get overly excited about it. and I will look stuff up if I get unreasonably stuck. And I am gonna be doing that on an Ironman because I'm antisocial enough for that to work anyway. Yeah. If anyone is gonna be like, what are you even doing in here? You're just gonna give up. I'm very, very stubborn person. So no, I'm not. I'm not gonna be giving up on this. And I'm actually starting the series like 2 videos extra early than I normally do, just to give me a bit of time to grind as a free-to-play account for a while, so that we're not that much like behind on the XP curve, and so that I can actually do quests like I am planning to. Oh right, that was another thing that I wanted to mention. And this is not a RuneScape exclusive account. That is another big no-no in RuneScape community if you're making RuneScape videos. If you ever end up subscribing, I'm gonna be doing RuneScape every week on Fridays, but other than that, you're gonna probably see quite a lot of Infinity Nikki at this point. Previously, you could have found Vampire the Masquerade on this account, and Spirituality on this account. I've had this YouTube page for 16 years, man. It's a lot of me in it, and it will continue having a lot of me in it. So that is another unspoken rule about what you don't do with a RuneScape series on YouTube. But anyway, I should actually get a move on. So first of all, we are in the tutorial island. I don't presume that I'm gonna find anything super interesting lore related in here, but you never know. You never know. So the goal for this episode is to just get out of tutorial island and do like 1 quest. We're gonna be starting slow because I needed some time to explain who the heck am I and what the hell I'm doing. Wish me luck in life, I guess. Oh, thank God. I am learning so much in the tutorial island because it's literally been ages. But this game is a tiny bit jank, which I would entirely expect from a game that's over 20 years old. So I can't really remap the camera controls from arrow keys to WASD, for example, because my tired old person hands are normally using this kind of keyboard. It allows me to have easy to click buttons and to only use 1 hand. Now the issue is that this kind of keyboard only has WASD and not arrow keys. This has nothing to do with the rest of the video. I'm just telling you my experience at the tutorial island right now. Thankfully, you can also control the camera with clickety of the mouse wheel, which is very convenient. Not me spending a million days trying to play around with the UI size and figuring out how I can manage all of these elements. For now, I kinda squoshed myself right next to my own backpack, which I figured out how to increase in size, and also no more eye strain for reading. Yay! Today I found the new fun trick. Enabling new rendering options disables your ability to fish. Hooray! Also, I have literally no idea how to switch up those kind of ugly display boxes for interactables. Like here, in this square you can fish. Okay, game. Pretty sure that I can also see the rippling water. I don't need a square lineup. Ow. Meow. Meow. Aww. Kitty.
Or she's just looking at your face.
So, I'm by this point at the combat tutorial, and I'm actually wondering if the game will just allow me to keep all of the stuff that I have picked up. Because I am picking up quite a lot of stuff. I mean, I know that it's just like basic tools and everything, but I don't know why, but I expected the game to be kind of cruel and not let me have them. Though I will say this, they went through quite the lengthy levels to make sure that you don't grind in the tutorial. Because I've just finished the combat section and they were like, no, you can only kill one rat in melee. Get out of here because you need to continue the tutorial. No, you can only kill one rat in range to get out of here because you need to continue the tutorial. I'm like, but was that actually a problem? Wouldn't it be a very sucky way of getting XP regardless? You know, the one little cute detail, the monk here that explained to me prayer also explained to me the friends and block list features. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. Their religious head is also the head of their community. That's kind of like how it tends to work in real life as well, where a lot of your religious leaders will be highly invested in the community affairs if you're living in a small village, because the religion tends to be what people group around, so it makes a lot of sense. So that's a nice little detail. Hey, I found the guy that allows me to switch Ironman on. I stopped recording so that I don't dox my own PIN for my own bank, even though I also forced a two-factor authenticator on this account, and also switched off email authentication because emails are very, very easy to breach in comparison to somebody having to go out of their way to actually get my whole phone. I trust that a lot more than I trust emails. So there we go, we won't be able to trade with other players, receive player-killed loot, scavenge dropped items, or play certain multiplayer games, which is completely fine with me. I'm not the most social person ever, so yeah, cool. I can do this. This won't be that hard until I really need something, and then figure out that the only way to get it is to grow it myself and to spend a lot of time farming. Which, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get to it. Oh my god, there are so many icons on my mini-map. I'm just sitting here open-mouthed going, what do? I was taught how to use the quest log, and there are quite a lot of quests that are classed as ultra short that don't have requirements that we can probably do. I'm also tempted to just go and hit up some chickens. By hit up some chickens, I mean actually punch chickens. I can't really explain to you why, but it's a desire for punching chickens that I'm pretty sure I can satiate later at my own time. This is not a one-day endeavor, mean. I'm gonna be living with this account for a very, very long time, and considering that my, sides... How do I point? Considering that, come on, thingy, no shaky. Considering that my stat page is currently looking like this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do a lot of punching chickens on my own time. You know what? Let's do Cook's Assistant. It's directly here. This is where we get dropped in. The quest exists. It's something that we can do, so let's do it. Hello? What am I to do? What's wrong? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, I'm in terrible, terrible mess. It's the Duke's birthday today, and I should be making him a lovely big birthday cake. I've forgotten to buy the ingredients. I'll never get him in time now. He'll sack me. What will I do? I have 4 children and a goat to look after. Would you help me, please? Yes, I'll help you. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, the quest log changed in real time and it turned yellow. Why is that exciting? Why is that exciting? I need milk, an egg, and flour. I'll be very grateful if you can get them for me. So, where do I find these ingredients then? How do I get some flour? There is a mill fairly close. Go north and then west. Mill Lane Mill is just off the road to Draenor. I usually get my flour from there. Talk to Millie, she'll help. She's a lovely girl and a fine miller. Fine miller. Make sure you'll take a pot with you for the flour, though. You got one on you already. Do I? Oh, I do. I thought that I deposited into the bank, but I suppose that was a play bank and not a real bank. I feel like I should maybe try to also find a real bank. M is for map, is it not? World map. Ahaha! I found the map! Amazing! I am so smart. What kind of icon? Oh, it's a bank tutor? But that room shows up as empty for me. Is it upstairs? Is there a bank in this place just like upstairs? Because if not, there is a bank here. And the mill is somewhere on... Oh, that's probably the mill. So eggs will be with chickens. Milk will be with cows. So I got all information that I need. Thank you. I'm sure I can manage it. Let me just figure out what the hell I'm doing with my life. And probably slowly travel towards the nearest bank. I may as well, like, that also answers the question. They do just give me things. I wanna, like, deposit everything that I'm not currently using so that I'm not just carrying it with me. You know, being so squished in next to my inventory is kinda cozy. Ooh, there are sheep. I found sheep, but that is not chickens, nor are these cows. So that's a cow. That is definitely a cow. Can I... Only dairy cows are suitable for milking. There's a... But they have calves. And they have udders. Surely they are a dairy cow? No? Okay, this is just the place where we murder cows then, I guess. I can't see an egg on the floor. I need 4 of those. You know, memory is one thing that I kinda expect to be entirely fried for me. So it will always be amazing when I remember exactly what we need. Hello? What are you doing on my land? You're not the one who keeps leaving all my gates open and letting all my sheep, are you? I'm lost. How can you be lost? Just follow the road east and south. You'll end up in Lumbridge fairly quickly. In truth, I am not lost. I wish I could compensate you for eggs, my dude. I could pay in bronze arrows if you want. It's just that currently I'm just waiting for eggs to respawn and then I'm stealing them repeatedly. Which makes me feel kinda bad. It's that video game logic, isn't it? Where if it's there, it's mine. And it's especially bad in games like Zelda, where you're like, oh, something is inside a pot that you probably want to be there. Let me just break your pot. Well, that's 4 eggs. Should I grab a couple for myself? Let's not attack any chickens. I don't really want to attack any chickens. I mean, for all I know, one day I will really want to make a cake. It is kind of nice that these eggs are just infinitely spawning. Can you even make a cake with 2 eggs? Or do you always need 4? I don't know why, but my brain is convinced that you only need one. Ooh, there was a whole field of chickens over here. With eggs spawning. Good to know! I could have just like turned around and grabbed some eggs up here. Ahaha! You're an Ironman, so you can't take items that other players have dropped. Good, that means that it's functioning correctly and it was entirely not me just going, oh my god, I can see money on the floor. I assume that maybe we will want to crunch this wheat. So I should probably have the wheat in case we want to crunch it. Crunch it? Crush it. Yeah. Where am I? That was the windmill. I'm already a bit past it. I should probably not be running absolutely everywhere. It looks kind of silly. It's not very undignified nor ladylike. And also my run energy is running low. At the very least, my character is sporty. Like, I couldn't just run absolutely everywhere. So that is an empty flower bin. There is some sort of person to talk with. I'm assuming it's Millie Miller. Hello, adventurer! Welcome to Mill Lane Mill. Can I help you? How do I mill flour? Making flour is pretty easy. First of all, you need to get some grain. You can pick some from the wheat fields. I already did that. There is one just outside the mill, but there are many others scattered across Gielinor. Feel free to pick wheat from our field. There always seems to be plenty of wheat there. Then I bring the wheat here. Yes. Or one of the other mills in Gielinor. They all work the same way. Just take your grain to the top of floor of the mill, up 2 ladders. There are 3 floors, including this one, and then place some grain into the hopper. Then you need to start the grinding process by pulling the hopper lever. You can add more grain, but each time you add grain, you have to pull the hopper lever again. So where does the floor go then? The floor appears in this room. Floor? Flour. Here. You'll need a pot to put the flour into. 1 pot will hold the flour made by 1 load of grain. And that's it. You now have some pots of finely ground flour of the highest quality. Ideal for making tasty cakes or delicious bread. I'm not a cook, so you'll have to ask the cook to find out how to bake things. Great, thanks for the help. Well, that seems easy enough. I don't suppose they stock extra flower plots somewhere? Up, please. That is the hopper, and that is the lever. So we can just add 1. This is a test for how good can Mirta follow instructions. Yay, I did it! Unfortunately, I only brought 1 pot, and that was from the tutorial island. So that's all that I can do. I should honestly probably drop the extra grain. It's not... If I ever need to make flour, the grain is like right here. The thing that I would kind of need would be the flour pots. Which I think some of them at the very least spawn next to the guy that asked me to get the ingredients. So now I only need cow milk. But also, I was slowly walking towards this bank in order to deposit some stuff. Oh, that's a dairy churn? So that is a dairy churn. Logic dictates that we have some dairy cows around, right? Oh, it's marked on my map as a dairy cow. Well, that's very convenient. Thank you, game. Look at me having a brain! Or rather, game telling me exactly what to do. You know, it's so annoying that I'm so tempted to steal, and obviously I can't. It's like you see somebody else's loot on the floor and you're like, loot grab, loot take, my loot, for I can see it. But then your Iron Man account says no. And that is probably the right thing for your Iron Man account to say. Considering that it's impolite to just steal other people's stuff, you probably shouldn't. Oh my god, I just noticed there is a fishing place for shrimp right next to this bank. That is so convenient. Also, I really appreciate the music in this game. I feel like I should mention that. This is gonna be such a meandering episode. I think we're gonna like complete one thing while I'm going ooh and ah. And then I think I'm gonna give myself some space between the first episode and the second to get all of the oohs and ahs out of my system. So that I can be like, look guys, look at what I've done! And have like a bit more levels than 0. Before we start the second one. And then I can like do all the easy quests, very easy quests, super easy quests on the free-to-play side. Because here's the things, guys, because I can't really trade for bonds and I'm kinda poor, I think subscription for a year is something like 77-ish pounds? Or 70 pounds. Either way, it's like a large chunk of money, which is perfectly fair. But if I can like delay paying 70 pounds by a month or two, that's probably gonna be ideal for me. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. So for a while, we're gonna be stuck as free to play, which is fine. I mean, it reminds me when I was a child and broke, and now instead I get to be an adult and also broke. Dairy cow is that way. Good for me. And honestly, being broke is kind of part of the nostalgia aspect of playing Runescape, so it's very on point. It's fine. It's fine. Plus, I've just gained so many, like, game features. Like, I could be killing cows all day. I could be killing chickens all day. What? Why would I need the members world and literally majority of the quests inside this game on a questing account? Surely I can find my own enjoyment out of whatever is here. To be fair, there is quite a lot here. Like, if I open the map, there is a wall here. So everything from this wall is all members. And there is another wall. I think we free-to-plays get a little bit of the desert. So I think free-to-plays get like this area. But I'm pretty sure that majority of Al-Kharid is walled off. I think you need members to pass through here, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty certain that you do, but I'm not convinced that my memory is remembering the right things. I don't remember if Mauritania is entirely walled off or not. I think it is. I think it is. So our world, for the most part, is like this square, which is still a lot. And I am 99.9% certain that you can still enter this gate and like muck around in just like this area around here, because I remember mucking around in this area around here. Like, I think what's locked for free-to-play is this place, which is, you know, it's fair enough. It is still quite a substantial amount that's not locked. So I'm gonna have plenty to do in the upcoming few months. I think I have enough to keep me busy. Where art thou, ye dearie cow? I had seen thee on the map. Here. I found it. She's very special. I'm gonna just grab some milk. And there I go. I have milk, I have flour, I have egg. I have everything that I could ever desire in this life. Outside of that nice fishing spot next to a bank that I saw that I kinda... I wanna dip my fishing net into it a lot. And then burn a whole bunch of shrimp and then go, am I playing RuneScape right, Daddy? To absolutely nobody, or my husband, but I don't know how creeped out he would be about that, so there's that. Hey, cook dude! I'm bringing your flour, milk, and egg. It went a lot smoother than I thought, and yes, I thought so. You have an infinitely spawning pot right here. So if I just wanted to grab a lot of flour in order to store it in my bank, I could. Just, you know, good to know. Hello? Is it you? Here's your bucket of milk. Here's your pot of flour. Here's a fresh egg. Oh my, you only asked for one. Why did I grab 4? You brought me everything I need. I am saved, thank you. So, do I get to go to the Duke's party? I'm afraid not. Only the big cheeses get to dine with the Duke. Do I get some cheese? That would be kind of cool. Well, maybe one day I'll be important enough to sit at the Duke's table. Maybe, but I won't be holding my breath. Hey! Cute! What's my cooking at? Probably nothing, right? Right? Oh, it's 4. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, it's really nice. My cooking is 4. Oh, that's exciting. I see these big accounts that like go, yeah, like I've just got my range to like 86 or 87 and like it's taking them bloody forever because that's how RuneScape scales, and here I'm just like, I got my cooking to 4. I want to make these videos about an hour long in general, but I think I'm gonna be stopping here today just so that I allow myself to properly get to grips with the rest of the game. And I want to go and punch some chickens, and I also want to stare brainlessly at that fishing spot, and I also want to burn all of those nice fishes on my makeshift fire right next to the fishing spot, and I just want to relive the joy that used to be RuneScape for like little child in me. I want to like really dive into what is there so that when I come back I'm comfy, I'm a bit less like a deer in the headlights. I've done some stuff, seen some things, maybe my enthusiasm has at least went down a notch to like levels of, yeah, this is fun, and not like, I remember so many things from my childhood. So this is where I'm gonna stop for today. I'm gonna be uploading these videos every Friday without fail. For the most part, it's only gonna be story, with a couple of exceptions. Like, by the time that I do get a full subscription, because I am planning on it, I kinda need it for the rest of my series, and also, duh, there are some skills that I remember from my childhood that I do wanna like really engage in. So if I'm just gonna like quickly switch off my own video capture you can see that this skill, it's construction. Guess what, guys? You can build a house. And I'm kinda excited to build houses in places. If I remember from my childhood correctly, housing kinda worn off for me when I started to need to rebuild all my furnishings into bigger furnishings, or just like pick them up and put them back again, as in you undo your sink and then you do sink again in order to get more XP, to get more housing levels, to be able to craft new furnishings and do new rooms and stuff. So I can't really say that I'm gonna be like going for really high construction, but I will say that my brain might just go into sponge mode when I do get access to the members world, and I might just run off to construction for like a whole episode where I just make myself a basic house with perhaps too many rooms, and not all of them being very logical rooms. And eventually I drive myself insane trying to make that house into a nice shape, because each room only has so many connective points, so you kind of have to think about what you're putting them on, and you just end up with sneaky snaky designs, and then you're like, this doesn't look good as a house, so then you try to like redesign it and make it more aligned and stuff, and then like you go a bit nuts on that. So there are potential exceptions when story time Mirta won't be like questing, but will actually be focusing on something else. But for the most part, you're gonna find me here every single Friday, and we're just gonna do some questing. And I hope that you guys are cool with that. I am slightly worried, honestly, about uploading this, because boy oh boy, the Runescape community is very, very, very full of hardworking, ambitious, great, creative people, and I feel like I'm none of that. So come here if you want bottom of the barrel, your RuneScape content, I guess. And if you don't mind other things in between, like Infinity Nikki. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for my Patreon supporters that are entirely fine with supporting me doing whatever thing that I want to be doing at the time, which is really nice. And that may just be funding my RuneScape subscription when time comes for that. And I hope I'm gonna see you next week, right here. Toodaloo.